Today, we're going to learn about brain regulation. Regulation means that something is controlled. If your brain is regulated, it means that the thinking part of your brain is in charge and working. We have 3 learning objectives, things that we're trying to learn today. The first one is to understand the underlying brain mechanisms and the interaction between them when big emotions are triggered. So that's just about how your brain works and how it works when you're having emotions like anger, sadness, fear, or frustration. I want you to be able to identify and apply a calming or coping strategy to diffuse an emotional trigger. So when you get angry, you have at least one strategy or tool that you can use. And I would like for us to practice a brain regulation strategy together. Here you see a diagram or a cross-section of the brain. There's the prefrontal cortex, which is just behind your forehead. This is the part of your brain that makes you special as a human. It allows you to think deeply, to problem solve, to set goals, and to make plans. Sometimes we call this part of your brain the upstairs brain. In the very center of your brain is a small but powerful organ called the amygdala. It's that bright green oval in the middle. The amygdala is the emotional center of your brain. Right next to the amygdala is the hypothalamus, and that controls body temperature, hunger, thirst, heart rate, and blood pressure and sleep. The amygdala works closely with the hypothalamus. They are sort of besties in the brain world. Think about a time when you were really angry. How did you feel when it was happening? Did you notice that your heart rate was going faster? Maybe you felt really warm? And what happened when you calmed down? Were you thirsty and maybe tired too? That's because the amygdala and the hypothalamus were working together. They are part of the downstairs of your downstairs brain. Along with the downstairs brain is your cerebellum. It's in the very back lower part of your brain, and that controls movement and action part of your brain. It is also closely connected with the emotional center and your body controls. And you're going to watch a short video about the upstairs and downstairs brain. It's called the Learning Ready Brain. It's made for younger kids, but I love this video, so I really want you to watch it. And when it tells you to wiggle your thumb, really wiggle your thumb. Nobody can see what you're doing.
This is the hand model of the brain that was developed by Dan Siegel. Essentially, you have your downstairs brain, your thumb folds over, and this is called the amygdala. It's the part of the brain that processes emotions and feelings. And then the top part of your brain, the upstairs brain, folds over the amygdala, and then this is your brain.
This is the upstairs brain. This is the part of our brain that we want to be in when we come to school. This means I'm ready to learn. I'm ready to be the best student I can be. Some of us call this green or the green zone, learning ready, or our upstairs brain. But sometimes we come to school and we're not as focused as we want to be. Maybe we're a little tired. Maybe we're a little worried about something and we're just not quite in our upstairs brain. We're a little bit outside of it. This is the yellow zone. Now this is our downstairs brain. This is red. This is not where we want to be when we come to school. And sometimes we hit red when we get really upset about something and we move to our downstairs brain and we don't learn very well.
Now, if you think of some feelings, for example, think of the feeling silly. When you are a little silly, wiggle that amygdala. This is you being a little silly. Your upstairs brain is attached to your whole brain. Now, think of a time when you've gotten really silly. Maybe someone told a really funny joke and you were a little tired and you started to get really silly. Wiggle that thumb a lot. It's really hard to keep your upstairs brain over that amygdala. So when we get really silly, we do a thing called flipping our lids. So now you are cut off from your upstairs brain and your downstairs brain is in charge.
What I'm trying to do, and the other brain ladies in your school are trying to do, is to give you tools to stay in your upstairs brain or get back to your upstairs brain as quickly as possible.
Now, there are 8 things that your brain needs in order to be healthy and at its best. We need to sleep, we need to eat healthy, we need to drink water, we need to get exercise, we need to take deep breaths when we're really worked up, we need to be a part of a team, we need to challenge our brains, and we need to limit screen. Water is a great thing for our brains. It helps us stay healthy. And one of the strategies that we can use when we get angry or sad or frustrated at school and we flip our lids is we can go get a drink of water.
The other thing our brain needs to be healthy is to breathe. So when my hands come out, I want you to breathe all the way into your belly. And when my hands come back together, I want you to breathe out very quietly. Ready? Breathe in all the way into your belly and breathe out.
There are fun things that you can do out at recess to get exercise and help your brain be healthy so that you can continue your job at school. So things like crossing the monkey bars or playing soccer or playing basketball or running around and playing tag or swinging on the swings. These are all fun things, but that are also exercise.
Other thing our brains need is lots of sleep. You should be getting about 10 hours of sleep every night.
The other thing is eating healthy food. So when we're at lunch, we can make good choices when we go through the lunch line of getting a fruit or a vegetable. So think about some of the healthy food options that you have at lunchtime.
The other thing our brains need to be healthy is they need to be challenged. And it's okay to ask for help, and it's okay to keep trying, because the more we challenge our brain, the more likely we'll be developing our upstairs brain.
Our brains also need teamwork. Our brains like to be connected to other brains. And so when we work as a team, it helps us to stay in our upstairs brains more.
The last thing our brains need to be healthy is to not watch very much TV or video games or screen times. Lots of screen time invites the downstairs brain to be in charge because it makes our eyes go narrow and focus. And the brain science says the more narrow our focus, the more likely we'll be in our downstairs brain. We want to practice seeing out here because when we're seeing this wide, we learn better and we're most likely to be in our upstairs brain. So see all the awesome things you can do to help your brain stay healthy?
Everybody flips their lids. Your teachers flip their lids, your parents flip their lids, you flip your lids, your friends flip their lids.
So if you see a teammate in their downstairs brain, should you go to your downstairs brain too? What is something you can do to help your teammate out? Could you say something like, "Are you okay? Is there anything I can do to help you?" Yeah, that's being a good teammate. And sometimes when we're in our downstairs brain, we just need to be left alone. And that's okay too.
Think about some of the things that when you get sad or angry or silly or shy that you might do to help you get back in your upstairs brain.
And that's what we want you to practice doing. What do you need to stay learning ready? Okay? So thumbs up if you can be a positive teammate. I knew you could.
In the video, you may have noticed that one of the things that's important to do is to not spend a lot of time looking at a screen. Right now, with virtual learning, all of us are spending too much time looking at screens. It's a tough situation. So one of the things that we can do is to use paper and write things down instead of doing everything on our iPads or our computers. Another thing we can do is to take a minute while we're in a synchronous session and look out the window, just like you might at school. Just look out the window for a little bit and pay attention with your ears. Listen. Between classes, it's a good idea to take some time away from the screen and go step outside for just a few minutes. That will help you regulate your brain and help you be able to learn better. When we are not regulated, we might hear things like calm down, relax, control yourself. Unfortunately, these phrases don't help much if we don't have strategies to use to regulate our brains and our bodies. And that's really what people are asking us to do. In the video and earlier in the year, you heard about zones of regulation. We classify or put different emotions, feelings, and actions into a matching color zone. We also learned about strategies we can use to move towards the green zone. We want to move toward the green zone because we usually feel better when we're in that zone. These regulation strategies or tools help us keep our upstairs and downstairs parts of our brain connected. One of the most simple things we can do to regulate our bodies and our brains is to just breathe. Take a moment and look at the TV screen. As the box opens, you're going to breathe in, and as it closes, you'll breathe out. Let's do that one more time together. Breathe in and breathe out. We're going to watch another video now that takes us through a way to scan our bodies and notice where we have tension and where we have calm. Afterwards, you may have the opportunity to draw on a diagram of where you notice those tense feelings and those calm feelings in your own body. We are going to do something called a body scan. The first thing you need to do is sit comfortably. Make sure that you continue to take some deep belly breaths in and out. We're going to take a minute or two to check in with our bodies. Start by paying attention to your head and face. Then, bring your attention to your neck and throat. Do you feel any tightness? If you feel like you want to move, feel free to do so. Now, roll your shoulders back a few times. Notice how your shoulders feel. What about your arms, wrists, and fingers? Wiggle your fingers. How do the muscles feel across your back and your chest? Now notice your stomach. How does it feel? Lastly, move your attention to your legs and all the way down to your feet and the tips of your toes. Wiggle your toes. How do they feel? How do your feet feel? What are the parts of your body that feel good? What about the parts of your body that feel bad or not so good? Is there any part of your body that feels calm and relaxed? Or parts that feel tense and tight? Do you have any aches, pains, or other sensations, like a feeling of happiness or contentment in your heart? Or butterfly feelings or nervousness in your stomach? The sensations in your body help you understand how you are feeling. They are the first clue that you may be nervous, angry, or scared. The more you listen to them, the more you will be able to make good decisions with each feeling that comes your way. When we're all done with this lesson, you may take a couple minutes to draw a diagram similar to the ones that are here. One can be the front of your body and the other the back of your body, to color in any areas where you feel tense or areas that you feel relaxed, just to reflect on what you noticed during the body scan. Practicing regulation techniques like deep breathing and body scans are great for helping to keep our upstairs and downstairs brains connected and allow us to use that prefrontal cortex to think, plan, and learn. The more we practice, the better we get. It's important to practice when we're calm, because the more we practice when we are calm, the easier it will be to use the tools when we are angry, scared, or worried. In addition to what we looked at today, you can go to Miss Wagner's rooms and find many different strategies on here, going through the different pages. You may also use this Google Sites. It's from the Madison School District, and it has lots of different calming strategies that you can use. I will take us there. So it's called the virtual calming zone. And you may see that there's visual relaxation, breathing practice, music sounds, movement, kindness, humor, and apps to calm yourself. We can also go to Ms. Wagner's rooms. And here there are different pages of relaxation and exercises, videos to improve your mood and lift your spirits. I always recommend that kids click on the pink one. It is one of my favorites to make me happy. Grounding techniques, things that help us refocus. Again, the zones of regulation with the blue zone, and there are links on the blue zone to help you learn more. Links in the green zone to help you learn more. The same for the yellow zone and for the red zone. After that, you will find more of the breathing strategies with different themes. There's a birthday one, a space alien, looking out the window, and one of my favorites, the Grinch. Thank you for taking the time today to be with me and to learn about brain regulation.